What's good?
I'm Laura.
I'm Dee. And this is
Spill the Tea with Laura and Dee. Yes.
All right. So we've got a couple of questions prepared this time. So
we do, but we have a topic first. Don't forget.
Yeah. Did we want to do a quick update first, or we want to get straight into the topic? Or
we'll get straight into the topic. Let's go into contract first.
Okay, first.
We did say contract. Yes. So our topic is design today, and we're just going to talk a little bit about what it was like to plan, what it was like to execute. What else do we have on our list?
Let's see. Oh, unexpected structural problems, unexpected changes, materials, where to store them. So yeah, you want to jump right in?
Yes. What's our first question?
First one is, how do you take a design to reality? So kind of the thought process behind that, it's like, there are so many people that kind of say, oh, I have such a great idea, or I have such a, awesome thought or whatever. Right. And if you think about it, flipping a house is exactly that. You envision something, and then it's just like, well, how do you take it from that vision to reality?
That's the scariest part.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I literally think my heart just skipped a beat thinking about it.
I remember when we first started, that was like the one thing you kept saying. You're like, man, it's just...
what if it doesn't work?
Right, it's nerve-wracking doing it and not already seeing the change.
Right. So, what was our first question? I forgot.
So, how do you take a design to reality?
So for me, design was kind of a bigger portion of my lane, whereas our organization was a much bigger part of his lane. So getting started, he played probably a bigger part. But I think design starts with knowing your community, knowing your audience, know who you're serving, and being realistic that it's not actually you living in the house. You're creating this home for the masses, right? And so the first part of design is figuring out what's going to work in that area, and then what's going to really sell. Like, what are the buyers really going to want? And so we did a lot of Pinterest. Like, I'd send him stuff at night, like 3 a.m. Here, how about this? When I told him we were doing blue cabinets, his reaction was a little surprised, I would say.
It's like, cool. Think it'll look good? Yes, awesome. Let's do it.
Yes, and so it was a lot of research, right? But it was fun research. I mean, it's I hate to research where I have to read, but if I'm looking at pictures and reading blurbs about what areas like or what's hot and what's trending, and not a lot of other places to get good design ideas that are easy, at least color based, is paint companies, right? Every paint company out there has a paint color of the month, paint colors of the year. What's trending, what's kind of going out. So that's a good place.
Know that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So like Sherwin-Williams has...
like, how on earth does she pick these colors?
Yes.
Like, white duck?
Duck white.
Duck with this. See? I'm like, where was that? I was going through all the whites, and I'm like, I would have never seen that.
Yeah. So I educated him on the number of whites that they have in each paint company. And then I think the next part was kind of cool, where we started actually seeing CAD drawings of our designs. And I think that's where it comes to life the most, is where it actually goes on paper. Even if it was, we were just hand sketching it out, or, sketching it out in Sharpie on the carpet, because we did not do that. Can we put the laundry room here?
Pulls out a Sharpie. Oh, you remember when you wrote...
Yes,
door here.
Put a door.
So put door here, thinking it's going through design. So make sure you watch out for this. Drew like a line out saying we're gonna put a door here, and I think we changed the plan.
I crossed it
out, but it was still there, and so we ended up coming by one day, and I'm like,
and sure as shit, there was a door.
Yeah, it's like. Well, the door is an option.
We closed it. I forgot about that. Oh my God, that was so funny.
Right.
Yeah. So then you see it come to life kind of on paper. And then as the construction starts, that's when, the real magic starts to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's kind of the process.
So one thing that I just thought of, what was it like? So for this one, it's like, okay, well, we start off with a house, ugly,
a square
decent,
box.
indecent, yeah, whatever have you, to like finished demo. What was that like, kind of walking in and seeing that?
So for me, it was crazy because you were closer and had more free time. So he was frequenting it more.
Right.
So I think when I saw the demo the first time, everything was just gone. And I'll say that was another big moment where you actually could see the design come to fruition, because in ours, when you walked into the kitchen originally, there was a wall to your right, and the kitchen was kind of
that was such a good
wall here and a wall here.
Not gonna lie,
moving all that. Oh, it was super great. And so there was a laundry room here and a dining space here, and the kitchen was here. So it was 3 rooms in one. And we moved the laundry room on the other side and just opened up the kitchen totally. And so the first time I walked in, I could actually see how much real estate we were working with. Mm-hmm. And I think, to be honest, we even probably had room for an island, which, of course, being our first full flip, I did not draw on the kitchen floors. Maybe I should have. But we didn't. We opted not to. We talked about it. We kind of looked at a few different positions it could have gone in. And so when the room is totally opened up, know that your design may change too at that point. So be ready for like, oh my God, I didn't even think of, this is bigger than I thought. Mm-hmm. So have your contingency budget. Make sure that you've got some room and some dollars to play with. And by the time everything's opened, you kind of should know what problems you've had.
Right.
Right. So that's a good time to make those changes. And
I'm not gonna lie, I honestly feel better about a house after I've kind of gone in it and done all of that, because you've seen all the problems. Right. It's like, I already know about that.
Plumbing's fixed.
I know about right.
No more cast iron plates.
Right. So it's like, for me, it almost feels better because it's like you've either fixed that or you've addressed it, or
Yes, so that's a good point. Opening, demolition being done really opens up the space for full-on vision.
So you kind of talked about this a little bit, or you touched on it. What inspired your design ideas?
Pinterest, a shifting design market. So, the grays have been fantastic. They've been beautiful. It's been nice to see them. But they've been around for a decade.
Gray in Atlanta has been popular since
ever
2016?
Forever.
At least?
Longer than that. Forever. Forever. And so right now what you're seeing coming into the design elements is more texture and a lot of mixed colors in wood, which I don't know that we've ever really seen a ton of that in any design elements over the centuries of, designing. And so for me, it was outside. That's what you're seeing kind of come inside. You're seeing a lot of plants. You're seeing a lot of wood. You're seeing a lot of rope. Macrame is huge right now, which is crazy because that reminds me of granny crocheting, but it's back. It's here and it's back and it's relevant. And so I just wanted to bring, even in our staging, outside in.
All right, hold on. You're going to make fun of me. What was that word you just used? Riley. Oh my God.
Riley dog does not approve.
Right.
I don't know what word you're talking about.
The
macrame.
Macrame.
Mm-hmm. It's like rope. I'll show you when we get done. I'll look it up for you.
It's coming back in style. That'd be kind of cool. Can we use one of those?
Mm-hmm. I just had a big one made for my somebody gave me a big one for my master bedroom. I'll show it to you. Okay. Anyway, back to you guys. So it was a lot of bringing outside in. We have a lot of earth tones in the house, which is nice. White is coming back. Not stark white, but a dove white or a duck white is kind of coming back in. Darker trim is coming back in, so more of an accent on the trim. We went white with the trim, but we went black with all of our switches. So we kind of had that as a little bit of a design element. And that's kind of fun as well when you're coming in. And I think everybody's done with the silver and all of that. And I think, the gold and the black is just coming back in. So we had a lot of fun with, I would say, bringing outside in and bringing that black and just these really big, bold moments in the house. Right? When you first walk in, we hit you in the face with this fantastic tile, this great little sitting area. But, really great, bold tile on the floor. We built these cute built-ins. Mm-hmm. We decorated it with lots of pillows, baskets, leaves, fabric. No macrame, sorry. And then when you got into the kitchen again, you just had this bright pop of blue hit you with the cabinets. And so it just kind of works. It flows. It's a very soft, calming environment. But then you've got these nice, bright, loud, big statements in most of the areas that are important in the house. Right.
Speaking of having pictures pop up, I wonder if we could have almost like a before and after floor plan even.
I don't even know if we got that. We were that terrible.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Next question.
Where did you store materials?
Home Depot wouldn't give them to us.
Oh my gosh, right? Home Depot and Lowe's stored our materials.
Motherfuckers.
Some of them are still under the house.
I was about to say in the crawl space. Yeah. So for me, materials, be cognizant of where you're renovating a property. Mm-hmm. Materials will walk off. Mm-hmm. We were lucky enough, our contractors, we had a part in our contract that said the contractors had to clean the area, so they couldn't leave anything out. Right. But you store them inside until the floors are done. So a lot of times your floors are kind of last. And then trailers, we used the crawl space. Now our crawl space didn't lock. There's no lock on it. It's just a door that opens a little piece of wood or whatever. I don't know, where else did we store our materials? We only bought materials as we needed them.
Right.
So that made it
part of it.
Yeah, that made it easier.
I think a couple of times you kept a couple of pieces at your place. Mm-hmm. I think I held a piece once or twice. But yeah, a lot of the times I think when I was leaving the store, I was taking it straight to the house, and then contractors would apply it within the week.
Yeah, you would drop off a pile or show up, and there would be a pile, and the next week that pile would be the house. It was super cool. Yep. So I want to know, more importantly, where are we storing the staging furniture?
Oh, fair enough. I thought we were storing that in the basement.
Are we going to give that to the teenagers at my house?
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. I forgot.
So there's
Have they been using it?
No, it's not there yet.
Okay. Because the couches are there, aren't they?
Not at my house. They're at Haynes still.
Oh, that's right.
We'll get them out next week after we go under contract. Right. Next question.
All right. How do you make sure you stay on plan?
I didn't know that was a question.
Oh, that's so funny. Honestly, it's kind of difficult. And so I've been going through that issues log that I was telling you about, and I'm kind of coming up with different ways.
So they don't know about the issues log, so tell them about it.
Oh, sweet. So the issues log actually is one of the ways I kind of help keep things on track. So if a contractor needs something, if a contractor forgot something, if a supplier gave us an issue, if they were out, if we run into a problem, whatever issues pop up, big, small, I kind of send them all through a funnel. I've got like a project management office, or PMO they call it. And so it's just kind of a collection of all of my tasks. And so it kind of keeps everything in a spot. And so you can close items out, like you can track them to close. So then that way you don't lose your issues. And then at the end, you can go back and kind of find out, okay, this is what we did. Now, what could we have done better? So what could we have done better? I think that, so obviously there's a couple of different things, but like, for instance, let's see, there was one I just thought of recently. It'll come to me. I just lost it.
Uh-oh.
Gosh, should have wrote it down. But, darn it.
Oh, well, so for staying on track for me, we did have a plan at the beginning. So part of that was working with our contractor, right? What are the next steps in your build out? Where are you starting? So of course he would start. He would then give us, once we got materials to him, he would give us another list of materials. And I know he kept up with a nice running list of what that looked like because we intend to use the same contractor, right? He was absolutely fantastic. His work was wonderful. I don't think we've had any complaints in the listing so far
Right.
with buyers viewing it. We've actually had nothing but really positive complaints because of the level of detail that we put in the house, and that really is our contractor, right? That's
Right.
I mean, we check it, but that's really on him.
Right.
And so I think that was super helpful. If you are thinking about flipping a house, make sure you know what those stages look like. Make sure that your contractor, more importantly, knows what those stages look like. Because that allowed us to go in and either get measurements to know how many boxes of tile we needed, or we're ready for the toilet, let's deliver it. Because I think if you deliver and have too many items at the house, things get lost, they get broken. I mean, we had a toilet get broken. I think it was delivered broken. I don't think it was our contractors, but stuff comes up and you're getting ready to use it and it's broken and it's not ready. And if you kind of do it in sections, I think it's a little bit easier because the stuff shows up. You start implementing that stuff. You order the next thing. It shows up as they're getting done, and it's just kind of an assembly line a little bit. And that was super, super, super helpful.
So one thing that when I was trying to remember, and I just thought about it, and I'll be excited to use it next time. So what I'd like to do at the beginning is kind of sit down and talk about, what are the features we're going for? We're going for a larger kitchen space. We're going for, a laundry room. We're going for all of these things. And I think we should write them out, and I think we should rank them. And so what happens is then, which this kind of leads into my next question.
Oh, time out. One other thing, having a plan that works well is it lets you know where you are in your budget as well.
Oh, yes.
Right? So I don't know why I just thought about that, but knowing that we were buying for this room or this space or this room or this space, it was easy to keep up with where were we over budget, were we under budget, because we had our contractor break each room down and each action item down. So we knew, okay, trim, $4,500, plumbing, X, electricity, X. And so we knew exactly where we were, and that paralleled our schedule. Right, which was super helpful.
Right. So the next question, what do you do when you find unexpected, like structural problems?
Cry.
Just something that right. After we cry.
Cry.
So
cry some more.
One thing before we talk about what we did do, one thing I would like to try next time is, so after coming up with that list of items of what we're changing, I think we should prioritize them. And then as things come up, we can almost already know ahead of time. All right, we've already looked at the list. This down here is the least valuable. That's a cost for cost. Let's just go ahead and put in the new plumbing or do in the new electrical and then take this off the list and keep it moving.
There you go.
So that's one thing I kind of want to try next time just so we can be ahead of it.
I would love that. I like being ahead. That's my jam. That's my jam, not barking.
So what did we do in the unexpected?
Cried.
After crying.
We just accepted it. I mean, you watch HGTV and what do? They cry for like 10 minutes on the show. I mean, the end of the day, you got to fix it. Right. So we accepted where we were. We made some hard decisions. We made some decisions on features that weren't have to.
Right.
But if we'd have left them in the condition we left them, we were leaving the buyer with
horrible,
with problems that would have been arising soon. Nothing we could have done about it. Not a disclosure issue. I mean, they would have known. Yes, there's cast iron piping in the house. Yes, the electrical's been here since 1957. Right? It worked. Right. It was fine. But we chose, when our contractor, was looking at those things and was under the house and that kind of stuff, he just said, hey, listen, this is where we are. This is what's going to cost. And so I would say renovate the house and deal with the unexpected as if you were going to live there. Or
That's
make
a
out
good
with the
way
dog.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yes.
You make out with your dog
All the time.
all the time.
But not in recording. Enough.
So, that actually brings us to our last question.
Sweet. What is it?
That was our last question.
Oh, that is our last question.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that's all we have to do with design today. I mean, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of our design. I really like the design. I like the fact that we had, softer lampshades and that kind of stuff.
What was your favorite?
What was my favorite part of the design?
So for me, it was I don't know. I didn't envision this. You probably did, but it was like so when we found out about the hardwood floors,
Yes.
and then we put that light fixture up there to match it, and it's funny because at first I wasn't even thinking match it. I was thinking, yeah, put a nice fixture up there. That's gonna be nice, and it was just like the gold just matched so well with the color of the floors.
Yeah.
And I think that design wise was my favorite because that double pane like window is right there too, and it's just so nice. It brings in so much natural light.
I think my favorite element with the design in this house is the flow. Every room goes with every room. Does that make sense? Sometimes as a realtor, you get really excited because you've got a more of a first-time homebuyer budget client, and they're walking in and they're looking at these houses, and we're looking at Atlanta. A lot of renovations are going on right now. A lot of these houses are I mean, they're updated, right? Or so they say. And you walk in, and the kitchen is like fabulous, and the master bathroom is fabulous, but they just don't feel like they should be in the same house. They may have one design element or one theme in the bathroom, and then you walk into the kitchen, and it's like, well, that's a little more modern or a little more contemporary or a little more country or a little more chic and then you go in the bathroom and it's like, well, those windows are square. Like, and that trim is, straight lines and there's no curves and the curves are in the kitchen. And so I think my favorite element is that we really paid attention to making sure that the house flowed. It felt like it was one home, one space. And I think whoever moves in there is going to be able to really decorate around that. And I would say I have a second that's a very close second, and it was our utilization of the space.
I'm sorry.
Jumping Riley.
This thing.
Oh, Mazzy's now going to eat him. I want to jump in too. But it was the utilization of the space. When we first walked into this house, there was this big open room that was nothing.
Right.
It was literally nothing. And and then you walked into the kitchen and the dining room, and there was a dining space that was super, super small with a laundry room in there. And I get it. I see a lot of laundry rooms in kitchens, but it wasn't hidden. It was in the way, not out of the way.
It really was.
Most of the time, the laundry room, if it's in the kitchen, it's out of the way and it doesn't protrude into the space like this one did. And then in the living room, there was an awkward closet. That was the coat closet. It was needed. It was necessary. But with the designs that we put in, we were able to actually eliminate the closet in the living room.
Why were we able to eliminate it?
Because we put in the laundry room in the front.
Oh, and it looks so good.
But we made the master bedroom closet bigger, right? And that allowed for a piece of furniture to go in that corner instead of a door, right? Which it's a smaller living room, so you need that wall space for design elements. And I would say the way we have the space used right now in staging, I think gives buyers a lot of perspective of how that space can be used.
Right.
So that was my favorite part.
Sweet. Do we have a topic for next week? For next time?
We're not prepared. But we will be. We will get better at this, we promise. Continue to watching. Exactly. That's why we just post what we record. So continue watching. Subscribe, please. Post your comments. If you're getting started, have questions, we're here. We're happy to answer anything that we can. If we don't know the answer, we'll try to help you find it.
Right.
We tend to be a little resourceful. So anyway, subscribe, like, and follow and all the things.
Comment and
yes.
repost.
Repost. Share.